What's up, everybody? It's Friday night from the forum. Glad you're here. It's the final week for most trade deadlines, and it's time to lock in. We'll see you this week's episode. Here we go. What's up, Joe? The intro video's not in there. I was like, what the heck?
We could just do it. It's just like get your face up in the thing. You know what we can do to start the show?
Here we go. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
The disrespect in my own home. This is crazy. But here's what I want to know. We have a very important holiday coming up next week, Thanksgiving. First, I want to say very thankful for you. Very thankful for everybody that tunes into this show. It's going to be a great time. But Tyler, very important draft question. It's Thursday afternoon. You didn't eat breakfast because you're trying to get ready for the big moment. What is your Thanksgiving 101 pick for food?
Ooh, Thanksgiving 101 for food. You know, obviously everybody loves the turkey and dressing, so I'm gonna bypass that and I'm gonna go to the sides, right? And it's really I'll give you two. I'll give you one that's like a Thanksgiving normal, right? And then I'm gonna give you one that's Thanksgiving in our home. So 101 is probably the sweet potato.
Sweet potato casserole. Oh
yeah, with like the brown sugar and like the candied,
the pecans and stuff.
And then my wife, really for any special dinner occasion, makes these bacon wrapped smokies.
And like the little smokies, like the Johnsonville ones.
Yeah. She wraps them in bacon, and then she cooks. She puts them in a mixture of brown sugar and cayenne pepper and some different seasons like that, then throws them in the oven. And so that brown sugar and everything, melts and becomes like a glaze. And it's like a sweet, spicy, bacon, smoky, just bomb.
You didn't hear that, did you?
No.
Something just hit my desk, I think.
All right, we got a couple in the chat. You got Matthiasen with pumpkin pie. We got Chris. Thanks for tuning in. Deviled eggs. Look,
no, actually, kick him from the chat right now. Just
no. Listen to this. I found a trick to deviled eggs. I found a trick.
Away?
No, you go and you get the Wickles pickles, the sweet but spicy relish. And put that in your deviled egg.
There was a place when I lived in Texas. They had a monthly deviled egg, and they had like a bunch of crazy stuff, and those were pretty solid. But
so, what's your 101 for Thanksgiving food?
101, I would say the sweet potato casserole. Sarah has family recipe. The bar recipe is like insane. I could eat a ton of it. But stuffing, honestly, the day after stuffing is the best. And we the Fricks don't do that crumble stovetop nonsense. Like this is like a proper stuffing loaf. The day after you take 2 slices, you make a turkey sandwich with that. Like life is just good, man.
All right, we got a couple people in the chat. Want to make sure we hit those. Lion Light Worship, thanks for tuning in. Let's go. Matthias said over under 2.5 hats. If you bet on the under, you won because it's just us two tonight. Rolling. I know we're your favorites, anyways. Maybe.
But that also means that Matthiasen has to break ties this week since he was on bye last week. So
he was on bye. Missed the stream last week. We got Try Hard in the chat. Honey Ham's his favorite. We had a question before the show even hit. Galaxy Pickers said trade Harvey and Adunze for Saquon and Shaheed, full PPR redraft.
Man, this is interesting. I feel like Galaxy Pickers in the last couple of weeks, they've really been doing some shape shifting with their team. So I respect the hustle. I feel like it's very easy to just draft make some moves on the waivers, and then you kind of just sit there for the season. So I appreciate people's willingness, or people that are in leagues that have a willingness to kind of shake things up, really go for it and make things happen. So now when we look at this trade, you obviously have the bump with Harvey. He had the tough matchup last week, so there wasn't really anything fruitful from that. Odunze's been up and down, but a high-end wide receiver too. Saquon got thrown under the bus quite a bit this week by A.J. Brown. I don't know if you saw the news, but everybody's been saying like, oh, like A.J. Brown, I don't feel like you've been kind of living up to the standard. Like maybe you've fallen off a bit. And he's like, well, if that's the case for me, then it is for Saquon as well. Shaheed, second game in Seattle. We feel like he's going to have this pretty big ramp up because he knows that Kubiak offense pretty well. I think that I would hang on to the Harvey Odunze side. Shaheed is going to continue to be that boomer bust guy. Interestingly enough, he had the low, like the decent floor in New Orleans. He was one of the only players to average or to have at least 4 receptions in every game that he played in New Orleans. First game he played in Seattle, he lost that streak. We think that he will come into time. Saquon, though, I just don't see it. They're not running the ball with success. That offensive line is struggling quite a bit. They're banged up. They just lost Lane Johnson. So I'm going to stick with the young bloods, and I like Odunze way more than Shaheed, and I think that Harvey, like, he will have a pretty solid uptick, even though I feel like their schedule's a little bit tough.
Love it. I mean, it really the trade is the Saquon piece, right? Like that's what we're going for. So I'm with you. I think Harvey could have the upside. The Eagles got to figure out what's going on with the offense. Like if it wasn't for them having like a significantly good defense, it would be tough sledding for them this year. So hopefully they figure that out, especially as we start getting closer to end of the season. Love that take. Dyson said, oh, we already hit that. He said, I lost all my leagues. However, I still know ball.
It was a weird week last week, I feel like. It was a very strange football week.
I won all my leagues last week. Like,
see how strange the week it was? Enough said. Enough said.
I did not lose in a single league last week. Albert said, "Sup, fellas? Appreciate you tuning in, man." Let's see here. Got Matthias said, "I make mac and cheese for the family for Thanksgiving." Dude, so today we had our company Thanksgiving dinner, and we're gonna get to these fantasy football questions. We had our company Thanksgiving meal, and there were 2 mac and cheeses, right? One looked like an authentic mac and cheese. One was kind of like orangey, like it was definitely either made with nacho cheese or it was like Kraft, boxed.
Maybe like a little Velveeta action or something.
Yeah. So I definitely appreciate the good homemade mac and cheese. So Matthias, and you're a hero out there for the people that love some good mac and cheese.
That's more like a Southern thing too, right? Because like growing up in Pittsburgh, like mac and cheese wasn't really like a menu item.
We like mac and cheese here.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. Don't get me wrong. I'm all about that action, but it was just that wasn't a thing in our house.
BHS Cardinal 16 in the chat. Trade 1 quarterback redraft PPR. Stafford, Travion, Franklin for Danny Dimes, CD, Chris Rodriguez.
Man. Danny Dimes hasn't really been doing a whole lot since the first couple weeks of the season. So, I mean, if that's going to be your starting quarterback, that's a smidge concerning. Chris Rodriguez is a Jag, so that doesn't really matter for this trade.
Right.
So this whole question is, what do you think happens in New England now that Ramondre comes back? Did Travion do enough? Did Travion do enough to be the Rico Dowdle to the Chuba Hubbard that is Ramondre Stevenson?
The question is, will Vrabel even allow that? Will Vrabel allow a running like that to happen? He's just when you think that he will, it's kind of like this comment right here. No mac and cheese is criminal.
I don't know what has to do with the point, but
no,
I don't.
Travion Henderson after the last 2 weeks is criminal. It is criminal, but Vrabel will do it. And leave us all exactly your face, what you just did, the eye roll, the head sway, all that is going to be everybody on Sunday when Ramondre gets the carries inside the 10 and the touchdowns.
BHS, I want to know what the rest of your team looks like because CD is far and away the best player in that deal. And it's like it feels like Travion and Franklin are more like depth pieces for you. So if those are guys that are going to be on the bench for you, then I love this deal. If this is like a 14-teamer and you're having to start all three of those, then I don't think that Danny Dimes and Chris Rodriguez are enough. If this is like a 10-team league, 12-team league where CD's getting inserted into your lineup, really almost like as a bonus flex, then yeah, take that all day. You're eliminating the risk of Travion. Bo Nix hasn't been all that fantastic as of late. And yeah, Stafford's throwing touchdowns like crazy, but you could probably find a streamable quarterback if you needed to, or make another move that would allow you to improve on the quarterback position. Danny Dimes has been a much middle of the pack quarterback, and they have a much tougher schedule coming up. So I feel better about Stafford. I like Franklin better than Rodriguez, but that upside of CD is just so far tremendously above those other players that if you're eliminating bench pieces, like, yeah, go all in and go for it.
I don't hate that. Let's see here. BHS Cardinal, drop us the rest of your roster. We'll come back to that. Derek in the chat, Mike Wilson, T-Mac, T. Higgins need 2 PPR, also Purdy or Brissett. I don't know how you bench Higgins this week with no Jamar Chase.
And Joe Burrow's going to play, I think.
Yeah, I don't know how Higgins sits. It's really between T-Mac and Wilson for me. What do you think there, Joe?
No, I'm totally with you on the T. Higgins thing. In the I looked it up. In the 5 games that he's played in his career without Jamar Chase, I just randomly was looking this up the other day, and it's stuck in my brain. So that's what my brain does. So he has averaged about 6 catches. He's averaged, I think it was like 90-some yards. He's had touchdowns in 3 of the 5 games. So Higgins, like you said, must start top 10 play for me. Ted McMillan has a monster matchup this week. If you look at what's happening for Carolina, San Francisco is giving up 44.1 points in the last 3 weeks. They just got housed by Michael Wilson last week. They got housed by the Rams the week before, and even the Giants went off on them the week before that. So for me, I'm going with McMillan. I'm going with Higgins. They made a subtle adjustment last week. I don't know if you saw it, but they're putting T-Mac in the slot a lot more and giving him easier targets, which is great because he's a tall receiver. Bryce Young's a short quarterback. So put the tall guy in the middle of the field and just have him wave his arms and let Bryce do his thing. So Michael Wilson, obviously wide receiver 1 last week, kind of flew out of nowhere. Huge week. But you also have to remember that Brissett set the record for the most number of completions in a game. He's not going to do that every week. That being said, Purdy Brissett has been a top 10 QB every week that he started. You got to keep rolling with the hot hand, which I never in a million years would have thought the guy that's bounced around the league and done all this stuff. Like Jacoby Brissett is the Jameis Winston that we want. That is what he's doing right now. He's doing it silent because real G's move in silence like lasagna. And talking about that. And why is this such a food-related episode?
No, see, Jacoby Brissett, I've always said Brissett is like the new Fitzmagic. Like he just keeps going to different teams.
Yeah.
And he's he's fine. He does the job done. All right, so we got a little context from BHS Carter. Said best wide receivers are Franklin, Juwan Jennings, Jameson, and Brian Thomas Jr. Running backs are Judkins, Henderson, Brees, Etienne, Chubb.
Okay, so you are upgrading Franklin. You have running backs for days. Well, you don't have them for days. You got you can get halfway through the week, which is enough. Everybody's having running back problems right now. Like there is not a lot of people that have good running back rooms in fantasy right now, except for you because you drafted all of them. Right?
Let's go.
It's paying off in the last 4 weeks.
Let's go.
I have a league where I'm starting Rashad White, and then my other running back is I think Michael Carter. We're down in the dumps out here for some.
All my deep wide receivers are now starting to pop. Jaden Higgins is starting to pop. Mike Wilson, I had him in a bunch of leagues. He's starting to go. Like a lot of the guys that I drafted late for potential upside are starting to pop. So that's good. But so for this trade,
I'm going for it. There's so much risk behind Henderson, and with the assumption that he is going to maintain the bell cow status, I think at best he gets 60% of the touches. And that they're going to give the goal line work to Stevenson, because they were already giving the goal line work to Jennings. They were giving it to Ernest Johnson. They almost gave me a carry out of the stands a couple weeks ago. So it's like they're not going to give him the ball. So unless he's able to break one, you're basically getting like a Ken Walker on a better offense.
Fair enough. Hey, if you're tuned in, make sure you hit that like button, hit the sub. Appreciate the love and support. We're going to get through these. We're going to keep getting the questions. Drop your questions in the chat. This is your Q&A show. We're here for you. And Matthias and lighten it up. Let's see here. K9 or Addison half PPR?
Ooh, let's see here. This is interesting because usually when people are asking questions, it's about like a particular position. Kenneth Walker popped up on the injury report this week, kind of later in the week. Addison, the big problem that you have with him is that JJ McCarthy is around in a league where the forward pass was invented. He's really struggling out there. Minnesota's got Green Bay. They're only allowing in half PPR 15.7 points. I know that Kenneth Walker has a pretty solid matchup against Tennessee. It's kind of middling. The only running back that's really done anything in the last 3 weeks was Jonathan Taylor, because Jonathan Taylor is a god amongst men. But if I have to choose between the two, I have absolutely no faith in JJ McCarthy. I'm a certified JJ McCarthy hater, so give me the floor of the running back. There's also been a lot of coach speak in the last couple of weeks about how they want to give Ken Walker more opportunities. We're seeing more opportunities in the short yard situation. So especially where you're not going to get kind of like the PPR merchant opportunities for Addison, I'm going to go with Ken Walker.
Okay, so I don't know if these, Matthias, are these all the same league? Like, I know you've got a bunch of questions going through there, you know, K9, Addison, Pearsall, Spears, Addison, Spears, Addison, Pearsall. Big mixture. Are you really just trying to grab one or two of these? Let us know in the chat so we can get some of the other questions as well.
Well, dude, let's just do this. Let's just make it easy. Let's just rank the four. So you have Ken Walker, Addison, Pearsall, Spears. How would you rank the four?
I would put K9 number one. I would put Addison 2. Pearsall and Spears are close. Spears doesn't give any touches. It's mainly receiving work.
I would feel better about Spears in a full PPR, I think.
Yeah. They're playing Seattle.
The only thing that scares me is I hate playing players the first week they come back after having a soft tissue injury, because they're going to get eased into the plan.
I mean, Pearsall got 75% of snaps last week. I think that it's
not. That's right. He did play last week, so that's null and void. So yeah, I would actually put Pearsall at 2 for me. So I would say Ken Walker, I agree, is the 1. I'll take Pearsall at 2. I'll take Addison at 3. Spears at 4.
For me, swap Addison and Pearsall, and I'm in.
I would say if it was full PPR, I would put Spears ahead of Addison.
He said all different leagues, so we can just hit these real quick based on that. Your K9 over Addison, your Pearsall over Spears, your Addison over Spears, and here's your.
You got to break your own tie.
Yeah, I'm Addison over Pearsall, or Pearsall. He's Pearsall over Addison. So just pick who you like better.
Let's call up Matthias's least favorite analysts and get a poll real quick.
get a phone a friend for the deal. All right. So Country Boy Jazz 9423. Appreciate you tuning in. Hit that like.
You know what that makes me think of? Our boy Lil Man Jay.
Lil Man Jay. All right. 12-man PPR. Start who? 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, tight end, 1 flex. All right. Purdy, Mahomes. Okay, so let's start there. Who are you going with, Purdy or Mahomes?
So we got Kansas City up against Indianapolis, and then we've got San Francisco against Carolina. I am going to just keep it simple. I'm going to roll with Mahomes.
Yeah, I'm going to take Mahomes on the bounce back. Running back, CMC, Jones, Walker, Tucker, Benson, Rodriguez. Well, Benson isn't set to play yet.
No.
Tucker's going to get some work because, I mean, Bucky isn't ready yet. Rodriguez is a no. I'm going to go CMC, Walker.
You're playing CMC? That's crazy. I'm just kidding. Let me get CMC. I'm actually going to go Aaron Jones. I wrote about it in the Fricker pick this week. Aaron Jones is a pretty good matchup if you're looking just like
Well, now
relative
one of
to
these may hit the flex. One of these may hit the flex.
maybe. But I would still take them still. So the one way to attack Green Bay is passing to your running back. Aaron Jones is clearly the passing running back in that room. In the last 3 weeks, Green Bay has given up 26.2 points in half PPR. So they played New York, Philly, and then Carolina. All of those running backs have been successful getting the ball in the air. So I like that matchup for him this week. So CMC, obvious start. I like Jones. I do love Tucker. I love Sean Tucker a lot. But that matchup for Tampa Bay against the Rams, I'm staying away from that.
All right, so wide receiver pick 2, right? We got Olave, Diggs, Pierce, Jennings, Ayuk, McLaurin.
Ayuk ain't even in the building right now, my guy. You can drop
Yeah.
him. Did you see that report that came out? They said they voided all of his guarantees. Like,
Yep.
all you have to do is just show up to a meeting. You ain't even playing. You got sweats on. You probably can leave your earpods in, like, and you getting paid, and you still somehow screwed that up. That's crazy to me.
It is crazy. Like, it is I mean, dude, just all that money. Like, I'd be so mad. So mad. All right, so Ayuk's out. McLaurin, I don't think he's set to play yet.
I wouldn't trust that anyway. Olave is an immediate start. He is like my guy for the week. Atlanta is falling apart. They're playing Kirk Cousins. That defense has been absolutely porous. In a full PPR setting, Atlanta's giving up 41.9 points per game in the last 3 weeks. And 2 of those matchups are not known for necessarily being dominant passing teams. Carolina, Bryce Young went sicko mode. I don't know what it is about Atlanta, but Bryce Young, like, he loves him some Chick-fil-A or something because he went crazy. Indianapolis, also big game for the receivers. And then New England, I mean, Drake may throw all over them too. So, yeah. So, I mean, and you go back to the Cincy game as well. So, give me Chris Olave, easy one. The second one, probably Diggs. Yeah, Diggs. I like the matchup for Diggs. He's got Cincy. Cincy, actually, they'll probably put Turner on him. DJ Turner's been sick, actually. And I hate to say that as a Steelers fan, but that boy is nice. Like, he locks up, but there's just going to be too many mouths to feed. They're going to be there. The one thing I will say is that Alec Pierce has a really good matchup. He thrives whenever he goes up against like a cover 1. They're going to see a lot of that this week against Kansas City. They did start to switch up there and go back to like Kansas City when they've been at their best in the past couple of years, been a lot of cover 2. They did that a lot last week, which they haven't really done all season. But I think that they're going to play a cover 1 to try to shut down Jonathan Taylor. And I think that Alec Pierce could have a big game. So if you're looking for a flex, that would be my pick too. So yeah, he does need a flex. So I would play Pierce over Walker.
I would play Walker over Pierce. That's me because I think Walker I know is going to get the touches against a really porous defense. Pierce has a good matchup, but I mean you need the bomb, and he may get it. So the difference is Tucker's going to have to do it over work. Pierce can do it in probably 1 or 2 catches.
You need to tweet at the Chiefs and ask them if they're going to play more cover 2 or more cover 1.
Yeah. And then at tight end, Garner, Otten, or Waller, I'm going Otten.
Otten for sure. Otten's a great matchup this week. The one weakness of the Rams is against tight ends in PPR, 21.7 points in the last 3 weeks. Yes, they went up against Kittle 2 weeks ago, but Seattle and New Orleans, not necessarily known for their tight end room, and they've been getting walked on. So, yeah, I think that Otten's going to be in for a good week.
Let's go. Matthias said 1 league. I have Gibbs, Kyron, and that's it. No other running backs at all. I had to start Chubb last night in a league because Bucky and Hampton and Pacheco are out. Feels bad, man. Hey, look, running backs are thin out there. Got Chris in the chat. Someone offered me Dobbs for Pearsall straight up in a 10-man PPR dynasty.
Yeah, I mean, you have to take Pearsall. Dobbs is what he is. He's solid, but like as long as he's tied to the Green Bay passing offense, Jordan Love has consistently shown that he's not going to hammer in on one guy. He's going to distribute the ball. You're going to have games where he does well, but you're never going to know what week that's going to be. The only pass catcher that we feel confident about in Green Bay is Tucker Kraft. If we think about what Pearsall was able to do at the back end of last year, they have shown that they're willing to scheme up plays to get Pearsall the ball very fast. It's unfortunate that he's had this injury-plagued start to this season. I think people are down on him, and they're saying that he has been he's an injury risk, or he's injury prone. But his other injury was being shot. Like, that doesn't count. Like, you should get bonus points for not having to retire after being shot in the chest. Like, that's weird.
Look, here's the key. And I know this is hard for Chris, because right now what's happening is Chris is a huge Green Bay fan, and they're playing to his emotions. They're trying to send Dobbs for Pearsall. Look, Pearsall has shown he can be an alpha in that offense, at least like a wide receiver 2 for sure. And guess what? The news today, the 49ers are moving on.
That's a great point. That's so true.
They're moving on from Ayuk. So who is it? I think that they're happy with what they saw from Pearsall. I think they're ready for him to come in and have a huge part in that offense. And so that's who I want. Here's
the other thing too, is if you think about Dynasty, you have a guy that's in his second year. Dobbs has been there for a bit longer and hasn't really done anything with it. The key, especially in like a 10-man league, the smaller that your league is, you need more alphas. You having depth in a 10-man league doesn't matter, because you probably picked up Sean Tucker a couple weeks ago. You probably are going to find people. You can get a quarterback when you need to. You want to trade for top-end guys that are going to win you weeks, because everybody's going to have a solid team. So Dobbs is in a 12-teamer, 14-teamer, horse for high floors, get after it. Dobbs is a great player. But Pearsall, he has that ability to get to that next level. I love what you said about the Ayuk thing. Juwan Jennings has had contract disputes for the last 2 or 3 years.
Well, he just wants to get paid like a 1, and he's not a 1.
No, for sure. But that could have him out the door, and then all of a sudden, Pearsall has him and George Kittle, who's 31. So I love the trade. I would pretend to be like, man, this is really tough for me, but okay. And then you clown them.
They're offering him Dobbs for Pearsall. So what Joe was saying is you need to get Dobbs and. It's not enough.
Oh, for sure.
You need Dobbs in for sure. All right, keeping it moving. Remember, appreciate you tuning in. Hit the like button. Drop your questions in the chat. We are live and here for you. Let's see. We got Chris Cross 04. Hey, what's your thoughts on Burden this week? Would you flex Burden, Carter, Singletary, or Tez full PPR?
Yeah, so Burden, the snap share has gone up. He's been getting more targets. He's actually projected to outscore DJ Moore this week, which is pretty interesting. That being said, going up against the hometown boys, the Steelers, they've changed their offense quite a bit in the last their defense in the last few weeks. So I'm interested to see how they play. They've been absolutely porous on the season against wide receivers. I think that Burden does have a good matchup. Michael Carter is not somebody that I want playing. Singletary is not somebody that I want playing. So it really comes down to Tez versus Burden for me. We've seen Tez do a little bit more. I think that Tampa Bay game and the Rams game, even though they have the good defense on the Rams side, I do feel like it's going to be somewhat of a higher scoring matchup. So I think that I lean Tez, but I could see an argument for Burden. I just need to see the proof in the pudding. When the Bears are fully healthy, I just don't know if there's enough workload for him. It's a very similar way to how I feel about Loveland.
Well, here's the thing, and this is the only thing they should. Well, one, Carter's out. Singletary is playing against the Lions, who just
their defense has been great.
Yeah. I mean, Barkley couldn't do hardly anything last week. I'm out on there. While Burden's gotten an uptick, his uptick is getting to 40% snap share, right? I would go Tez here, and that's because Tez is getting over 80. He's on the field 85% of snaps. He's getting more touches. Baker likes to air out the football. They're gonna throw a lot. The running backs are banged up. I like Tez's opportunity to get in the end zone. I like Tez's opportunity to have 2 to 3 catches, 20, 30 yards, a little bit more down the field. I think that you have the highest upside there. Burden just hasn't got there yet enough to merit. And then Pitt again is no joke on defense. That's the thing, is the pass rush. They're gonna make Caleb run a little bit and try to get the ball out. So that would be my thoughts there.
I do like Burden as a buy low though, if you can, because his underlying metrics for just like his ability to get open, the way that he's running routes and doing things, I feel like you can get him in Dynasty for relatively cheap. So if you are selling off players and trying to figure out what you're going to do, I was lower on Burden and consensus coming out, but he's somebody that like you have older players, like that could be part of the piece that you're looking forward in the future, because DJ Moore seems to be falling off. You know that they're going to have some options there. So I think that like that's a great player to like acquire in like a redraft week 12. I'm not ready to do that just yet.
Yeah, I mean, definitely Dynasty. I love that. Baker or Purdy this week. I have Egbuka, who I'm playing. I also have Jennings. Can't decide which quarterback to start. If I should play Jennings over Genty going against the Browns. Look, I like Jennings. The issue comes, with quarterback, right? Like, so first week that Brock's back, he gets 6 targets, 4 catches. Okay, Brock loves Pearsall. He loves throwing to he loves Kittle. He loves throwing to CMC. Jennings will be fine. Like, he'll get his touches, but I'm just not.
Problem with Jennings is if you look at Jennings' targets and his splits between when he's going up against man and when he's going up against zone, Jennings is a dog. He is an elite separator when it comes against man-to-man defense. You can see that in his fantasy points per route run relative to what he does against like cover 3 or other packages. The problem is Carolina doesn't play a lot of man-to-man. They only play man-to-man 16% of the time. So I know that Genty has a tough matchup. I don't really like either one. So I don't know what else you got out there, but I like Purdy over Baker this week. And if I had to pick Jennings or Genty in a vacuum, I'm taking Jennings just because I think that he's going to be able to do more. That Vegas line is horrendous. The biggest wild card is any team going to score in that Vegas Cleveland game? I don't think so. It could be like a 3-2 game. It's going to be a baseball score. So for me, it's like Genty hasn't been able to get it going at all. That Browns defense is so sick. We saw what they did last week to the Ravens. I mean, Eric Henry had himself a game, but the Ravens offensive line is miles and away better than
I can't bench Genty. And the reason I can't bench Genty is just touches. Like last week, I think that the fact they only gave him 6 rushes was crazy, but they did throw him the ball 8 times. And if this is any sort of PPR format like that, Jennings had 4 catches last week. Like he got 6 targets. You're getting that. Plus you're getting the rushes. There is upside. Derrick Henry got loose.
Crazy to me that he had 7 yards rushing. That is absurd.
They
did. You know how they have that like thing on like on
Dallas, bro, against Dallas.
Well, in Dallas's defense, Quinnen Williams is a run destroyer.
Fair enough.
But 7 yards, that's like that thing that they put up, like if you were given 4 chances to get 1 yard in the NFL, do you think you could do it? Like Genty almost failed that last week.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, if they're going to pass him the ball, I just don't know if that's consistent. He's really been around like the 4 or 5 target mark each week. So,
hey, look, Simpson 8-3, second place going against first place. Man, you're there. Like, look, let me tell you, it doesn't matter. First place, second place, bye, whatever. Like you make the playoffs, you're in. You make the playoffs, anything's possible. Let's see. Got Country Boy Jazz in the chat. Would you start Rams or Packers defense this week?
Ooh, let me look at my DST rankings. I will be completely transparent in this. I look into a lot of statistics for other positions. Defense, I purely rank on vibes.
I'm starting Green Bay.
I'm also starting Green Bay. I have Green Bay as my 3rd best defensive matchup this week.
Michael Parsons is going to put JJ McCarthy in the dirt. It's going to happen. I'm telling you, you're going to talk about at least a couple sacks. They're going to own that. The Vikings are still not moving the ball like they need to. You go to the other side and you have a great Rams defense. Like Rams have been strong, but freaking Tampa Bay's been scoring points. Like they're going to score points. You're not going to hold them down, So I definitely I would go Packers here, especially.
Easily. And I think the thing with the Packers too, I think a lot of people are upset because they haven't had the high output, like defensive touchdown, whatever. If you look, their defensive finish has been in the teens every week except for week 1, which funny enough was against Detroit. And we were like, Super Bowl, they're unstoppable. Jordan Love's 27, and every quarterback in Packers history was 27 when they won the Super Bowl. Give them the trophy now. Like you had the Giants with Jameis last week. They had an interception, a couple sacks, 20 points allowed, 7 fantasy points. But they are like the epitome of high floor. You haven't seen the splash plays from them, but I think this is the week to do it.
Love it. Let's see here. Chris said, I declined it pretty much immediately. I love Dubs, but Pearsall is going to be great. I agree.
You know ball, Chris. Good job.
South C 7765. Would you stash Monungai or Tootin? I am with Chris because you said he knows ball. I want Monungai, and the reason is like we've seen Monungai when he gets to work is it can be extremely effective. Tootin is yet to really get loose, and I'm not sure. Like if Swift goes down, it's just Monungai. The Bears continue to run the football heavy. If ETN goes out and it's Tootin, I actually think that Jacksonville will throw more and omit the run more from their game plan. So I like Monungai plus Swift. Swift has more of a history. Well, maybe he feels like he has more of a history of missing time than ETN.
I think the hard part for me is you're banking on a Swift injury. I think that Tootin can take this running back situation over without it.
No way.
I really think he can. I feel like before he got hurt, it was starting to happen because ETN has not been very efficient.
ETN got 19 carries last week, 73 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Right. And Tootin got hurt.
So if anything, that puts Tootin back in the maybe column.
Yeah.
Like he has a performance like that. Like he's coming off. So the last 2 games he's had a touchdown. Or like he had 2 last week. He had 1 the week before. He's getting more touches. Like I would
try to find a way. If you're going for stashes, I would try to find a way to have them both. If I'm being honest, like, would you rather have Alvin Kamara or Bayshal Tootin? I would rather have Bayshal Tootin. We have seen that Alvin Kamara is going to do nothing for the Saints. They'll drop him. Someone else is going to pick him up because it's Alvin freaking Kamara, and then they can enjoy the 6 points a game that he's getting.
No. What that was is that salt because Joe drafted Kamara and now he's like, what a waste.
Oh no! Not only did I draft Kamara, Kamara was like, this is the guy that I feel most confident for the year for all this myriad of reasons. And then they're like, hey, we're going to be this vertical offense where we're not going to give the ball to our best player. I was like, okay,
sounds about right.
That's why
it sounds like the Kellen Moore thing to do.
And that is why I refer to myself as as not an analyst, but I'm just color commentary.
Color commentary.
I'm just,
no, dude, I love it. All right, so moving on. Wayne 4227 in the chat. Kittle or AJ Brown at flex PPR. Got McBride starting. It is Kittle. You want Kittle, and I know it's hard to bench AJ Brown.
No, it's not. It's very easy.
No, it's one of those name things. Like it's like if you have AJ Brown, you're like, oh, I gotta start AJ Brown. I drafted him in like the 3rd round. Like I've got to start. I gotta start
the second round. Honestly,
second round. So you're like, I gotta start AJ Brown, but dude, Purdy is gonna feed Kittle. Kittle's like a touchdown every week with Purdy.
This guy's got McBride as well. I mean, McBride is like wide receiver 6. So wide receiver is really McBride, and then you've got Kittle just holding it down.
I'm undefeated in my league that I run Kittle and McBride together. Undefeated.
I love that.
Yeah. So I love those two. Kittle's going to get the touches, going to get touchdowns. Mad Dog sharing the stream on Twitter. Appreciate the love. Angie Hatfield. Hey, fellas, need to Wandell Mooney, Jawan Jennings, or Boutte.
Also, shout out to my girl Angie. It's like certified day one homie. Love her. Hope she's well. Man,
She's well.
I do. I hope she's doing well. So let's get into this, right? So Mooney inherits the wide receiver one role with Drake London being out this week. There's actually some optimism that Drake London's going to come back next week. I don't see it. You also have Kirk Cousins at the helm at quarterback. I don't have a lot of confidence in Mooney this week at all, even though he is taking on that number one role. I actually like who's their tight end? Juwan Johnson quite a bit because of this news. I think that no, what am I saying? Totally different team. They're playing the Saints, excuse me. I think that Kyle Pitts is end up being the number one receiver, but it's going to be like 6 receptions for like 4 yards. He's going to go full Ashton Genty on it, right? So I don't like the matchup for Wandale, but he is going to get peppered with targets. That Detroit game, has all the makings for it being like garbage time central. If you look at just kind of the implied point totals for that game, it's actually pretty crazy. So let me find the number real quick. So
yeah, while you're doing that,
you're good.
Yeah, I'll say Wandale is gonna they're gonna be playing that game from behind. They're gonna be playing that game. Right.
So they are 10.5 point underdogs, but their implied point total is 30 points.
Yeah, they're gonna be playing from behind. They're gonna throw the ball out a lot. Wandale had 11 targets 3 weeks ago, 11 targets 2 weeks ago, and last week still had 9 targets. Like, he's going to get looks and he's gonna get touches. Mooney, you don't know. Butte, whatever, had one target last week. I'm out. Give me Wandale and Juwan Jennings. It's a pretty easy conversation for me. I will say Mooney does have possibility because Kirk Cousins likes to target Mooney, but I still take the other two over.
I like it. Yeah, I think, and Booty's coming back from the groin injury too, so that's a challenge as well. So
Jay Simpson back in, BTJ out, Garrett and Benson on IR, Godwin coming back, but I don't trust him. So it has to be Genty or Jennings, and I'm going Genty.
I'm going to change my vote. I'm going to go with you. I'll roll on the Genty side.
There you go. All right. Hashhead710, appreciate you. Hit the like button if you're enjoying the stream. Running backs are Gibbs and Henry. Pick 2 wide receivers, 2 flex, full PPR. You got Chase Brown, Breece Hall, AJ Brown, Pittman, Olave, Jameson Williams. Gibbs and Henry's fine.
You got to play those two.
Probably want Chase Brown in a flex spot.
So I would say Olave and Jameson Williams are the 2 locks for me. I would say that Chase Brown would be my 3rd. And then out of Breece, AJ Brown, and Pittman, Breece Hall is like ultimate floor play because he's going to get the touches because there's no adults on that offense right now besides him. Pittman, the whole discussion that we just had about Alec Pierce, that is going to be an inverse relationship between Pittman and Pierce. If you think that Pittman was going to, or if you think that the Chiefs are going to play cover 2, Pittman is going to eat. If you think they're going to play cover 1, which I think that they will, then it's going to be an Alec Pierce game. So I know we were talking about benching AJ Brown. I'm actually going to go with him against Dallas. So Brown, double Brown, Olave, Jameson Williams.
Double Brown, Olave.
Brown liquor with the olive on top.
I'm gonna go Brown. I'm gonna go Olave, Jameson, sure, as the wide receivers, and then Brown, Breece, and Chase Brown. That is. I don't want AJ Brown. I don't want any shares of that right now. Got Wayne said, hell yeah, bro. Thanks for the McBride Kittle convo. Got Kev's World 7923. Hit that like button. We appreciate you. My wide receivers are JSN, Jamar Chase, Devontae Adams, Pearsall, Wilson. Running backs are A-Chain, Aaron Jones, Trey Benson. Do I trade Devontae Adams for Saquon Barkley? Yes.
Yeah, I mean, the thing
I would do it just because he needs the running back. Like, you think about the upgrade that Barkley will be over A-Chain or Aaron or sorry, not over Aaron Jones or Benson. I like Benson. I want to hang on to Benson, but he's got freaking JSN and Jamar Chase. And then until at least this week, Wilson's going to eat again because you still have no Marvin Harrison Jr.
No, yeah, I'm with you.
And
I
then
would
Pearsall's going to kick it up. Like I think you need a running back, and Adams, he's a top 10 guy right now. He's going to get you. He's going to get you something in return.
Yeah.
I like the deal.
It's been really interesting too. I don't know if you saw this. They were talking a lot about this with Puka Nacua actually, but the Rams are running a lot of 3 tight end sets right now, which limits the amount of time that the wide receivers are actually going to be on the field. They're going full Pittsburgh Steelers. Like I don't know if they're just like trying to see what it feels like to be Artie Smith or what, but they've been running 3 tight ends with like a weird frequency lately.
Well, and who doesn't want to roll out each week Saquon Barkley, A-Chan, JSN, Jamar Chase, and then be choosing between, a Pearsall, Aaron Jones, Benson, Wilson, and the flex.
Yeah,
like I'm
yeah,
good with
I like it. I like it.
All right, Stafford over Purdy? Question mark.
Yes.
The answer is yes.
Yeah, just to give some context to that, we'll be quick about it. But for the Rams, where are you? Tampa Bay, they're typically known as like a run stuffing team, but they have been just porous across the board. 22.6 points in the last 3 weeks. 2 quarterbacks. Matt Stafford's leading the league or right up there in passing touchdowns. Don't overthink it.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons, like it's a struggle on trading Stafford in that other deal for Danny Dimes. Because, Stafford's like, you look at the last 4 games, 5 touchdowns against Jacksonville, who's not a bad defense. 4 touchdowns against New Orleans, 4 touchdowns against San Francisco, 2 touchdowns last week against Seattle. The guy is putting up points. It's
right now.
Yeah. Here's the thing. You got through the end of the season, you get Tampa this week, you get Carolina, you get Arizona, you get Detroit, which is a little bit tough. And then Seattle, Atlanta, who's been poor. Like you get Atlanta in the championships.
Yeah.
Like let me keep Stafford for sure.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Start South Sea 7765. Start to Warren, Pearsall, Wilson, Rashad White.
What time is the Green Bay game this week? Do you know? Is it a 1:00 game against the Vikings? Yeah. It's a 1:00 game. So ultimately, Rashad White has been very inefficient right now. I don't love the matchup for them this week against the Rams, so he's a sit. Emmanuel Wilson, if Josh Jacobs isn't playing, you're starting him over. You're starting him over both of these guys, and then you're figuring out who it's going to be between the two. Now, when it comes to Warren and Pearsall, for me, I like Tyler Warren just because of the consistency that we're seeing from him right now. Kansas City, the one place that you've been able to attack them this season is at the tight end position. So it's going to be Tyler Warren and then one of Pearsall or Wilson for me. But if Wilson isn't starting, then it becomes a very easy decision.
Yeah, I want Warren in this and Wilson. I want Wilson for the touches. I want Warren for, like you said, consistency. His lowest targets in any game this season is 5. He's last game before the bye against Atlanta, he had 10 targets, 8 catches for 99 yards. Like, I'm good. Let me roll with Warren. Love that.
Do you think that Jacobs is going to play?
We'll see. They want to play him,
especially like divisional game. Yeah,
and they need to play him. But I think if anything, they'll probably limit snaps. Like they have some doozies coming up. Like they have Minnesota. Like and even then, if they lose they got Minnesota this week, and then next week they got Detroit in Detroit, right? So like if they lose to Detroit, then they got Chicago, Denver, Chicago, Baltimore, Minnesota. It's not easy, but they need Jacob in the end. Chris is a Green Bay fan, said even if Jacobs plays, he won't play much. So we'll see. We got Biggs in the chat. Need one Rantanen or Gauthier? I don't know.
This is a hockey question. So Cutter Gauthier, He is
I
fifth
watch no
in. He is actually fifth right now in fantasy points in the season. He has 123 fantasy points, which is completely out of nowhere. Super hot start for the year. He's got 24 points, and then just been kind of crushing it all around. But let's take a look and see what he's done as of late. It's been a complete turnaround for him, right? So he was drafted in 2024, hasn't done a ton the first 2 years, full season last year, 20-goal scorer. In 21 games this year, he's already got 12 goals, which is pretty insane. So in his game logs, you look at the start of the year, his first game against Florida, he had 48.5 fantasy points. I don't know what that means because I don't play fantasy hockey, but that's pretty absurd. He had a hat trick, he had 4 points, 6 shots on goal. He is pretty consistently put up about 8 points. So I would actually roll with him. I could take a look and see what Rantanen's doing, but he's definitely not up there. I'm going to ride the hot hand, and I am going with Cutter.
I love that you just spit a bunch of hockey knowledge. I have no idea. Go with the guy that scores goals, I imagine. I don't know.
Mikko Rantanen, he's 18th. He has been also doing pretty well lately, but yeah, I'm going to go with the young guy.
All right, so we got to roll. We just got hit with like 1,000 chats at once. Appreciate the love, guys. Hit the like, hit the sub button. If you want us to jump to your question, we've got about 8 minutes. We're going to try to hot potato through these. If you want to make sure your question gets in, hit it in a super chat. We'll get to it immediately. Also, if you notice down below the video, we have some of our merch lines set up. We got some awesome stuff. That's fsan.shop, some killer shirts, like not just this, but like actual fantasy football shirts or football themed shirts. I know that there's one that's Cool Joe Cool that just came out that looks pretty good. There's Mathiasen. There's one that's a Breaking Bad logo that says my fantasy team is playing bad. It sounds perfect for what you said earlier. Drop in and get you one of those. All right, let's get into these questions.
Rapid fire round.
All right, Hashhead. Thoughts on Juwan Jennings after Rashid trade? Picked him up off waivers. Have Pitts, but I'm leaning Jennings now.
This is a Juwan Johnson question.
Juwan Johnson question, yeah.
I think Juwan Johnson is going to be the second target in this offense. They're throwing the ball a lot. They don't have a lot of other options. I love Juwan Jennings. Juwan Johnson rest of season. Yeah, I would pick him up. Pitts has some juicy matchups in the next couple weeks, but yeah, he's definitely a good stash.
So there you go on that. I would rather have Pitts starting personally, but you know, Kirk Cousins.
Week, yeah.
All right. So Jason Ortiz, start one this week. Purdy, Brissett, Trevor. It's hard to get away from Brissett, dude.
Oh, there's nothing to think about. It's Brissett. Brissett is a Brissett and forget, people. Lock it in. Put him in there. You would have never thought this in a million years, but just ride that train, baby.
Brissett and forget. All right. Start two this week. Wandell, Rashad White, Sticky Ricky.
Never say that again. Never say that again. That is weird.
Wandell Robinson's in there for me. And then
give me Sticketh Ricketh.
All right. Well, you have it there. That's a little bit tighter for me on that one, but let's go.
I just hate that matchup against the Rams.
Since it's handcuff season, which three are best? B-Rob, Tootin, Stevenson, Wilson, Knight/Carter. Also, I have DJ Moore on my bench. Is he droppable to get one of those four guys? He is droppable to get one of those guys. If you need immediate production, I would say Stevenson. I will say this. I like San Francisco, how they're starting to use B-Rob. They're starting to keep some of those heavy up they're giving those heavy up the middle touches that keep, CMC beat up. They're giving some of those to Brian Robinson, and he's looked good. I mean, he's averaged, he had 10 yards a carry, which he only had 5 carries 3 games ago.
He's come along
against
in
the Rams. Sure. Against the Rams, he averaged over 5 yards a carry and got a touchdown. Last week was a little bit tougher sledding against Arizona, but if something was to happen to CMC, that's a killer handcuff to have. But if you need immediate production, it's probably Stevenson or Wilson.
Well, he said which three. So I think out of the three, you take B-Rob just because of the San Francisco offense, the injury history to CMC, and we know that B-Rob is capable. Stevenson is your second. He's not the handcuff. I think he's going to come back and retain some of that role. He's also still going to be the goal line back. And then the last one, we know that Josh Jacobs is banged up and trying to gut this thing out. I don't think Emmanuel Wilson becomes like this like 70-80% bell cow. I think that him and Brooks will split and Wilson will get 60% of the snaps. But Wilson could be starting this week. So then that would be the third one that you want. And then if you want to, so you're saying DJ Moore, who would be the fourth guy that you get out of that? To me, it's going to be Tootin. I could not be bothered with anybody that's in Arizona in this backfield.
Yeah. I mean, I would take Benson. I would take,
Yeah,
but
Benson for sure.
If he comes back, Knight's not a thought. All right, Wayne, would y'all trade Hurts for Burrow? Probably. I mean, while I like Burrow, probably not. Hurts is like what is he leading the league in rushing touchdowns right now?
He's QB7 right now. I don't know what the number is, but he has 6 rushing touchdowns. So if he's not leading the league amongst quarterbacks, he's going to be close. It's probably Josh Allen because Josh Allen's been running like crazy. Josh Allen has 10 rushing TDs, so he's probably going to be in the one spot, right? That being said, Joe Burrow, we don't even know if he's actually playing yet, so this is not the time to be making that trade. Yes.
Well, they got to because it's trade deadline.
No, I know, but like it's like I would need to see him in the lineup this week, and they say, "Hey, Joe Burrow's starting," before I would even consider it. Like you accept that trade and you play him next week if you need to, but I would say hold on to Hurts.
Packers have a short week after Sunday, so 99% they'll be shitting Jacobs. Love that, Chris. Thanks for that. Jason Ortiz, start one. Lawrence, Show, Young, Roberts. Golly, surely
every quarterback under the sun. Yeah, it's gonna be for me. It's gonna be Bryce Young. Bryce Young has a great matchup this week. He looked hot. Him and McMillan, I think, are gonna ball out. If Flacco is the starter, though, Flacco would be my pick otherwise.
Yeah. If Flacco starts for sure. Dude, what is up? Like I thought for sure last week they were like, is Bryce Young gonna do Bryce Young stuff again towards the end of the season? And I was like,
nah, bro, he's cooked.
Yeah, I was like he's got tough matchup this week, and dude, I don't know why it takes him till the end of the season to get going, but he had a great game against Atlanta. Atlanta's been porous. You have San Francisco Rams. I mean, I don't hate it. I don't hate them through the end of the season.
No.
All right, let's see here. Start one this week, Tracy or Rashad White.
Tracy.
Dude, I hate that matchup.
I hate that both matchup. Of them. I think it's just because
they're playing the Lions.
They are playing the Lions, but it's the Lions in a dome. You know that they're going to be scoring a lot and that the Giants are going to have to keep up. Rashad White hasn't been running the ball well, so you're banking on him getting passes. Tracy's been getting a good amount of work, and then they're probably going to be passing to him on the dump offs.
Yeah, he'll probably get some out of the backfield. I agree with that. So in an ugly vacuum, Tracy. Jason Ortiz, start 2 this week. Yoshivas, DK, Coker, Leggett, Tillman, Judy, Mechie, Burden. Did I miss any other bombs? I just want 10 points each somehow.
Well, man, you are asking a lot out of these young men, okay? I would say Yoshivas, just because he has the matchup, he's going to be sliding into that wide receiver 2 role for
Higgins, Yoshivas. Yeah, I like that.
Then I think it comes down to me between Mechie and Burden.
Oh, I can't do it, dude. I can't do Mechie or Burden. Although Mechie finally got going last week. You know what? Give me Leggett. Leggett's coming off a game.
They have that matchup against San Francisco. I don't hate it. Dude,
he had 8
targets. Not the Browns guys for sure.
He got 8 targets last week, 4 catches and a touchdown. I'm just gonna roll with them getting him going. He's gonna, he can ride the horse or whatever. Let's see here. You guys are the best. Appreciate that, Biggs. You're the bomb.
You're the best.
Kevin in the chat, thank you. Appreciate you. Hit that like button, show the support. We're here every week. We're going to give 2 minutes of overtime to punch through some of these. What percentage chance that in he one league of mine, I'll be able to play Bucky, Hampton, or Burrow for week 13? I think Burrow is possible for week 13. I think all these 3 are possible for week 13.
I think Bucky plays. I think Burrow plays. I don't think Hampton plays.
Would you do Chase for Barkley if they don't want Adams? No, I would not do Jamar Chase for Barkley.
Because Kevin's World was 8-2 or 8-3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not if you needed a win this week with the suspension, sure, but not like that, no. Especially with Joe Burrow about to come back.
Look, here's the thing. Jamar Chase is like the Bengals think there's some world where they can get into the playoffs. He's already wide receiver 2. Yeah, you got some decent matchups. I think you're going to be fine. You got Baltimore twice. Their secondary.
You can run me and Tyler out as your running back 2 with the receivers that you have. Don't force the market, because if you were running out Chase, he had JSN and then Adams. You also had a pretty sick running back, if I recall correctly. Like, you're running back 2. You're just doing that for the love of the game.
He needed a run. He needed a run back too. It was
like he had fall off. Yeah, but that's fine.
Nico or BTJ moving forward in Dynasty? Give me BTJ.
Ooh, I would have picked Nico.
I know you would, because you love Nico. But
yeah, that's the whole point.
I can't do it. I mean, he's wide receiver 13 this year. He's missed 1 game, and I know CJ Stroud's been struggling, but BTJ is gonna pick it back up. I'm not out on him for sure, yeah, but I just like Nico.
Should
I trade Ladd and Aaron Jones for Kamara and Waddle? The answer to that is no.
Please don't.
Mike Sticky Gesicki.
Why is everybody sticky? Why is everyone sticky? I hate it.
I don't know.
Stop eating marshmallows.
I don't know. He said, will he get targets this week? I think those targets are going to go to Yoshivas.
Or Noah Fant.
Yeah. Gesicki, Chris said Gesicki won't get much love because the Bengals hate using tight ends. I'm not worried about Gonzalez and Higgins. Higgins is big boy. They got to play big boy football for Higgins. I'm not worried about that. Give me T this week. That's it. No more questions. It's 10:03. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Matthias and in the chat. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Hey, appreciate y'all. Thank you so much every week for tuning in the show. We're thankful for y'all. Y'all make this show fun for us. Keep coming every week. We're here 9 o'clock Central. Click on the links below. Purchase some merch. Support your boys. And we'll see you next week, 9 o'clock Central from the forum. Have a good one.
We are here. We are here. FantasySportsAdvice.com, offering the best fantasy sports social media platform. Why join endless Discord communities or the trolls of Reddit? Fantasy Sports Advice is a community designed to help you win with 24/7 support. Go to FantasySportsAdvice.com and become a pro member for unlimited access. Again, go to FantasySportsAdvice.com.